everyone. Happy New Year. So excited for 2023. I can't wait to see what's in store for us. I have some ideas churning around and wait and see what comes of them. So anyhow, I want to start the year with participating in Junk Journal January. That's with Meg Journals. And what I have here is the makings of my journal, and I'm doing an A4 size journal with 3 signatures. I do not have them bound yet. I like to add stitching to my pages, and I want to go page by page, and then not in order probably, but as I do a page, if I want to take it out and take it and sew it. Normally what I would like to probably do is I would take and I would do some stitching on all the pages and everything, and then bind them into signatures and work on them from there. But I want to do a little bit differently. I also am going to do this one a little bit differently in that I'm going to steer away from what I normally do, what I dearly love to do. I'm not stopping that, but I want to try something new in my own personal little journal here with Junk Journal January. This journal is not only going to be that, because that's only for a month, although I'd like to continue it through the rest of the year. But this journal is also going to include my thought for the day, and that I'm doing with my sister. And we are going to journal a thought for the day, whether it's a Bible verse that speaks to us, some inspiration, maybe just a word. Maybe it'll be like a 2-page journaling session that we'll have from whatever is speaking to us each day. So that will be also incorporated into this. I also am going to incorporate my gratitudes into this journal. So this journal is really going to host quite a bit. It's not going to be, like I said, my typical style of junk journal, because I want to branch out and try something new. But I'll still be doing my junk journals, guys. That's my love. That's where I am at, and that's what I'll continue to do. This is just on the side. So anyhow, I also want to share it with you. So for the first page, this page that I'm going to do in here, I am going to just do the front page, and it is a ledger piece of paper. And I am going to do that Junk Journal January style, like a couple of the videos that I've seen, specifically Meg's video that she had. And I want to go soft and not quite as grungy, and I want to do my pinks and my greens that I love so well too in the pastel type colors. Will I carry that through the whole journal? Who knows? Doesn't matter. So to start this, I have this stencil, and I want to add some fern for the background of it, and I'm going to do that with my Distress Oxide ink. One of my new blender tools that I got for Christmas, and I'm just going to take my oxide ink, and I think I'm going to use this fern here is the one that I'm liking today, and I'm just going to add that in a couple places on this page, and that's what we're going to get. And I just think this fern is just like real soft and delicate, and it adds a lot to our page without being overpowering. Of course, we're going to be covering a lot of this up too. So anyhow, we'll get this on here. And I think that's enough. We'll set that aside. I have chosen some papers already. I have received also for Christmas some papers, and they are like these little papers here. They were purchased on Amazon. If I can remember the link and the name of the company of where they pick these up for me, I will link it down below. But I have some of these papers, and I'm just going to start my New Year's resolution is what the prompt is for this. I really don't make resolutions because, number one, I cannot stick to a resolution. Everything with me changes like fast, randomly and fast. I change my mind a lot, and it's who I am. I know sometimes that's hard to deal with someone who changes their mind a lot. It's hard to keep up with them, knowing, you know, what's going on with them. That's what I do. So I don't do resolutions. I will do a lot of meditating, like, okay, what is this new beginning going to entail for me? What is it going to mean? This morning I got up, and my thought for my day is actually being incorporated into my junk journal January prompt. In that, my thought for the day was, got up this morning, and I don't know about you guys, but I go to my phone to see what's going on before I even get out of bed. And I went to my phone, and there right in front of me was this big number 1, and it said Sunday, and then number 1, it was my calendar. Well, you know it wasn't big because your phone's not that big, but goodness, it looked like that 1 was bigger than my phone. It was bigger than life. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, it has never hit me before, the date, number 1 on any new month, number 1 on any new year, has never really hit me or made such an impact as what this number 1 did this year. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, number 1, it's the first day. It's the first of newness, the first of what, Bev? What's the number 1 meaning to you this year? And so then my thought for the day has been the number 1 that I seen this morning, and how it's impacted me to think about where am I going to go? This is the first day of the rest of your life, and what are you going to do with it? You know. So anyhow, that's where I'm going with this, and I have a piece of book dictionary paper here that I'm adding. I am sticking to some grunging a little bit because, again, that's what I love to do. And I'm going to add some layers. I do love layers. And I'm going to add my little dried flower here. Also, I have this little sticker I was going to use, but then I decided to use my fern, so I don't think I'm going to use my sticker. So let's slide this off, and let's ink up the outside edge of this paper with the same ink. I think that, well, I know that my favorite colors are brown, green, and pink. And when you put them all together, and they're the soft colors, to me, it's just really, really, really pretty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And that's what is pretty to me. Now, I don't do much of that in a junk journal, although I could into my grungy junk journal, pink, green, and yep, it would be just as pretty. But I am going to maybe do a little bit more of that in here. So I'm going to glue these little papers. It's just paper on paper. It's nothing textured yet. And I'm just going to use my glue stick. And I tend to use Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I've tried a few other ones when I was scrapbooking and didn't like them. And so I've always just stuck with the Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I haven't tried a new one in years, so I'm not sure if there's anything better out there. I do know that paper on paper, when it's not textured or whatever, Yoo-Hoo works very, very well. So there we have that. And then I have a piece of, I call it fine art paper. This package, I believe, was from Hero Arts a long, long time ago. Dating myself, right? So I'm going to add this pink right down here. So we already have now some green, some brown, and some pink. Very easy to get those colors on a page. Then I'm going to add this poppy yellow because I think it looks good. This also, and what this is I will, when I'm working on my journal pages, I will lay a piece of wax paper in between my pages, behind the page I'm working on, both sides of my journal. So if I'm spraying ink or putting on some gesso or whatever I'm doing, it won't get only where I want it, and this will pick up the excess. And so this is a piece of that waxed paper, and it just, you can see the gesso here, and the edge of the page was right here, and that's where I went off. So it just adds a little bit of splash of color, and it's translucent. It's just is a good thing. So I also have some book paper here. Let's put some of this here. I'm just kind of layering it, alternating up and down, left and right, whatever looks good to me. And then I have my flower. Now this is where we're going to have some drying time, because I need to take my flower and I'm going to add that with some soft matte gel, which is going to take a while to dry. So I will add this, get this on here, and then I'll be back. All right, so my flower's dry, and after I did that, I thought, gosh, I should have shown you guys what I did. All I did was I took a soft brush, I took my matte gel, and I got some on my brush, and I took my flower and I put it all over the back of my flower. And I did not use this sparingly. I just kind of layered that right on there, and then I put it onto my paper. After it's onto my paper, I took some more MAC medium and I just kind of gently pounced all over my flower because I didn't want to rip it. I didn't want to move it. And then I just let that dry. So here we have it, nice and dry. And I want to add like a little label, and I have this label that I like. And I'll just ink that up a little bit. And again, I think this came out of that kit that I was gifted for Christmas. And I'm going to, since I'm going to be gluing onto that flower, I'm going to use my neutral pH adhesive. And this I had purchased on, and I'm going to glue that right on the stem of my flower like this. Just on it a little bit and kind of press along the side to hopefully get it so it will stay down. This glue grabs quite quickly. I have a butterfly that is out of one of Louisa Heinzel's freebies that she had been given away. I think this may have been out of the 5 where they had like 5 items swap, her and Barbara and somebody else. Anyhow, I had fussy cut that out, and I want to add that butterfly right there. And I'll just add a little bit of this glue again on that because I have it open. And I'll put my butterfly right there. I need a word here. I haven't decided what word yet that I need there. So I'm going to think about that, and I'll eventually add that to this, probably right in here. I'm going to add a word or a phrase or something to this page. And then it will be complete. That'll be the first page in my journal. Let me just take the rest of the pages, put it back in this signature. Oops, I also have to go and stitch around it too. So I'm going to go do that. Okay, so I have it stitched around. And I am going to leave threads because I like to have some threads hanging. And then I'm going to show you what I did for the inside. There we go. There's my prompt for Junk Journal, January, day 1. Like I say, it doesn't have the resolution on there, but I will add something down here as far as my intention for the year or whatever. On the inside, I decided to make another page because I need to have, wanted actually to put this number 1. This number 1 is a large acrylic stamp. It's by My Sentiments Exactly. And I don't, M115-1 classic number monogram. But it was too big to put over here. So I decided to use my second page as my thought for the day. My thought is, what about that huge number 1? What does it mean to me? So I put January here, my number 1. I did the same type of collaging as I did on the front with my pink paper. And then I just journal a little down here, a new beginning. Now, here I am going to journal a little bit about what this big number 1 means to me. That's personal, so I haven't done that yet. We will put our signature back together, and this is what we have so far. I have the machine stitching, and it's perfect. It worked perfect as far as the placement of it for on the back side also. There we go. Hope you enjoyed this process, and we shall see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye now.